Yeah, I can hear myself. Can you hear?
I can, yeah.
Yeah, I got both.
And now for the visitors from Bear River, welcome. Number 40, Jay Warren. Number 28, H. Farnsworth. Number 2, E. Sorensen.
It's a beautiful day here in Spanish Fork. Welcome to our coverage of Spanish Fork's matchup between the Spanish Fork Dons and the Bear River Bears. Hello everybody, Jake Arsot alongside of me, Andrew LaRose. We're excited to bring you this prime time matchup between two top squads in their respective leagues. Spanish Fork coming into this one just on absolute tear this year, sitting at 19-1. They came off of a recent loss against Tooele. They'll hope to rebound today against a tough matchup and a storied rivalry today, and an opponent in Bear River who is 13-3 on the year in 4A play. Both teams at the top of their games, hoping to get a little bit of momentum before the tournament. This is definitely going to be an exciting matchup between these two squads. Beautiful weather today, a little bit windy here, a little bit of a gust from right to left field. Both lineups getting announced here. Andrew, you excited for this one or what?
Oh, I am so excited for this one. It's always a matchup when it's Spanish Fork and Bear River. Again, these two ancient rivals, as you will, used to basically duke it out every year for the 4A or 3A state championship here in Utah. I actually was part of one of the games back in 2018. That was the championship game. Spanish Fork lost that one in an absolute heartbreaker, ended up losing in the last inning on a bases loaded infield single where it looked like she was out at first, but they called her safe. Very controversial. We had Spanish Fork fans coming up to us asking like, hey, did you get a good view of that? Because we're pretty sure she was out. And so it was pretty crazy. And then the following year, Spanish Fork goes on an absolute run to get to the championship game, had to go through Bear River to get to that championship game against Tooele, forced a game 2 in that championship run, but then ended up falling short, losing that championship game. And so now being able to seek some revenge here again, both teams sitting basically at the top of their respective class here. For Spanish Fork at the top of RPI in Class 5A. For Bear River sitting right there at number 2 in RPI for Class 4A, right behind Tooele, who again, as Jake was saying, is the lone loss taken this season so far for Spanish Fork, losing a heartbreaker yesterday, 1-0. An absolutely fabulous pitching performance from was Atlin Johnston, who ironically enough was the pitcher in the championship game back in 2019 that knocked off Spanish Fork. And so not only is there a little bit of bad blood between Bear River, obviously there seems to be some bad blood between Atlin Johnston as well and Spanish Fork. And so Tooele giving these Dons their first loss of the season, and now getting to face their premier opponent this season in Bear River. Just a note, though, the number 1 team in state this season, according to RPI, is Riverton, who actually the Dons beat in their first game of the season. And so, RPI not completely perfect sometimes, as Riverton getting a bit of a bump from their schedule, obviously playing in 6A. But the two teams you're seeing right now potentially could be the best 2 teams in the state. And so it's going to be an absolute blast here. We hope that you are all locked in and dialed in here on Spanish Fork 17, because this is going to be a gem. It's going to be a good one.
It really is, Andrew. I'm really excited for this one as well. 2 top squads, and not only that, just like you mentioned, the history behind these 2 squads. Of course, Spanish Fork recently moving up to 5A. Not potentially going to see them in tournament play, obviously, being in the different leagues. You might see Bear River move up in the future. Things may change. However, that doesn't take away from the fact that these two teams have a long history of playing each other. And, of course, anytime there's a rivalry between two squads, it just brings out all the emotions, all the excitement, especially when you have two teams playing at this caliber, like you said, Andrew, and, of course, you throw Twilly in the mix. A lot of great softball going on here, and just really exciting to see. So, of course, visiting Bear River going to be up to bat first against Spanish Fork. Dons are wearing their white uniforms, and Bear River in the red and black. Pitching today for Spanish Fork on the mound will be number 5, Avery Sapp, sophomore. And we'll see how she does today against the beginning of this Bear River lineup.
Yeah, Avery Sapp on the season. She is one of the premier pitchers in all of Utah. She actually is leading the entire state in strikeouts coming into this game at 127, and that is in less innings than the co-leader over in Lehigh. She's actually pitched like 30 less innings than her, and so the fact that Avery Sapp already has 127, I want to say she's pitched, if I remember correctly from my research, about 75 innings pitched so far for Avery Sapp on the season, has been so dominant, a .92 ERA as well. She is just electric on the mound for Spanish Fork.
That's an impressive stat, Andrew. Keeping a sub-1 ERA is something. And this team as a whole, Spanish Fork, is just a defensive juggernaut. Their point differential on the year is she rifles that one in for a strike. 241 runs for, 24 runs against. Don't get a lot of runs against Spanish Fork, that's for sure here. Sapp winds up, throws, and that is a strike 3 called. And there's another strikeout to add to the tally for Sapp.
128.
And we thank all our viewers for tuning in here on Spanish Fork 17. You might hear it over the intercom. Of course, we're glad to broadcast this one to you live. Sapp rifles it in a little low for ball 1 to Olivia Taylor.
And we'd like to also thank our fans that are tuning in, not just our Spanish Fork 17 folks here that are watching the Dons, but also those that are tuning in to watch the Bears as well. We welcome you on, and hope that this is a great ball game. And obviously we're hoping for the loss for you guys, but we are definitely just hoping for a nice ball game here on Spanish Fork 17.
Here's the pitch from Sapp. A little off-speed pitch there, falls in perfectly for a strike there.
Golly, that was an absolute beauty. She has a really great rise ball, and if you can mix in that nice off-speed changeup kind of almost curveball there, as she puts in another one that's an absolute beauty, man. It is going to be tough sledding for the Bears today if Sapp is on her game like she already is so far here in the first couple batters.
Mixing up her speeds very well here to start. So 2 up, 2 down. Bear River will now bring up number 30, and that'll be Maxfield here. And McCall Maxfield will foul that one off. And Bear River really is going to have to try and not only fight off pitches, but they're going to have to hope that they can get a little bit ahead in counts as well. It's going to be hard to fight back, especially when you can't get any contact. They're already 0-2. Sapp really dominating to start.
Yeah, she's looked so impressive so far. Again, it's been the pitch mix for her so far. She's got a really great fastball that's got some nice sink to it, as well as she has that rise ball in her back pocket as well. And man, when she's also got that changeup going too, it is just so difficult to make any kind of solid contact against Sapp. Again, she in the last game against Tooele ended up pitching basically a perfect game all the way up until a solo home run by Tooele ended up being the dagger there for them. As there's another perfect example. Perfect rise ball up in the zone, gets the swinging. She ends up striking out the side.
Very impressive start there for Avery Sapp. 3 up, 3 down, and we'll go to the middle of the first here and Spanish Fork will come up on the bottom half to put some runs on the board, hopefully. Today's game between Spanish Fork and Bear River is brought to you by the following sponsors. I should say Blue Diamond Auto Group, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, the attorneys at law of McKell, Thompson, and Hunter, and the Driggs Mortgage Team. So for Spanish Fork, they'll bring out Trinity Benson to start. It'll be followed by Jamie Davis and Brooklyn Pintar, the first three in the lineup. They'll go up against Dally. And Dally will be pitching for Bear River to start this one. Kate Dally on the year 5-3 according to Deseret News. Bear River again 13-3 on the year, very impressive in 4A, as we mentioned, number 2 in RPI ranking, and they've pulled off 11 straight wins. It's been very impressive from them as well. They've been really hot, and they'll hope to keep that up here against one of the best teams in Utah in Spanish Fork.
Yeah, they took a couple losses early in the season, but have basically since then been on a win streak from there on out. And so Bear River absolutely rolling as they come into this game against their old rival Spanish Fork. But man, this may be one of the most impressive Dawn squads though that I've ever seen. They have so much balance in their lineup, starting with the leadoff hitter Trinity Benson, who does such a great job of setting the table for Spanish Fork and some of their power hitters in Davis and Pintar. I mean, they score runs in bunches, that's for sure. They got silenced yesterday against Tooele, but I would expect the bats to be out and flying here today at the sports park.
Here's Dally with the pitch. Benson gets a part of it, goes back to the backstop. Count now 1-1. Pitch from Dally, one just a bit high. Count now goes to 2-1. That one just on the corner. A little bit of a late call from the judge, but it is called a strike there. 2-2 now the count.
Yeah, great pitch from Dally, able to establish that outside part of the plate. It worked most of the stuff inside and high here to Benson, and then finding that outside once again there with strike 3.
Only good location by Dally there, and she gets her first strikeout. That'll bring up Jamie Davis.
And Davis, one of those big power hitters in this lineup coming into this ballgame with 7 home runs on the season. Has really been just a vital part of this Dons offense. Hoping to be a part of that again. Hit a key home run in last week's ball game that we got to do here on Spanish Fork 17. It was one of 3 home runs that were hit in that ball game. Spanish Fork sitting at, if I remember correctly, about 46 home runs on the season. So they know the long ball and they rely on it.
Yeah, not only that, 25 RBIs. It's just impressive the kind of offensive numbers that Spanish Fork has put up this season. Try and continue that today. Another good pitch, and down on 3 strikes goes Davis. This might be a pitcher's duel. We might see a really low scoring game potentially. Who knows?
I mean, hey, yesterday's game against Tooele 1-0. So I mean, certainly Dolly's got the stuff to be able to compete here against Sap. So yeah, it may be a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel here this afternoon, but hey, I'm totally good with that. I think it's just as fun as seeing a hitting barrage, and so let's see what Dolly's got here in her pocket though against one of the best hitters in all of the land in Brooklyn Pintar.
That you are right. Pintar on the year, 6 home runs, 25 RBIs. That one goes off her bat, I believe. Let's see. From our viewpoint, it might be a little bit difficult to see that one. They are going to review it. Looks like the umpires talked together, and looks like it will be 1 ball and 1 strike. Another good pitch from Dally there. She gets ahead in the count now. It's 1-2.
Yes, now after starting things off kind of high and inside with Trinity Benson, now she's just been making a living on the far side of the plate here against these right-handed hitters, and she just about framed another one on the outside part of the plate. Just barely misses there, so count now 2-2.
Yeah, excellent job by Maxfield behind the plate at setting up these pitches for Dally. 2-2 the count, and good contact there by Pintar to stay alive.
Yeah, able to spoil a real pitcher's pitch there. That had some nice velocity to it, and again, this time able to work back to the inside part of the plate, kind of got in on her hands a little bit, but able to jam that thing away and stays alive here, 2-2. Now that one in the dirt.
So first pressure situation for Dally here, full count. Dons will try and get a runner on base. Here's a pitch. This one flying out to center field, way back, and that is out of here. Home run, Brooklyn Pintar. Best hitter in the land, and she just proved it right there.
Gotta love that. Takes that 3-2 pitch, gives it an absolute ride out to center field. Heck, our cameraman could have potentially had a play on that one. It just flew just a bit over our heads over here in center field. That was exciting. Way to get things going here. Brooklyn Pintar starting things off here for the Dons in the right way. Solo home run here. Full count, 2 outs. Absolutely crushes that offering from Dally. And Spanish Fork draws first blood here in this old grudge match.
Well, Brooklyn Pintar just gave the fans here in outfield and gave us a souvenir. Home run number 7 on the year, in Spanish Fork now. That solo shot takes a 1-0 lead. That was just such great contact on that pitch as well. Totally took advantage of it. First pressure situation, as we noted. We'll see how Dally responds going forward, as that one is outside. Count now 1-1.
So Kylie Mitchell up batting .429 on the season according to Max Preps, 27 RBIs, so another key run producer here in this lineup for the Dons. Also another one that has 6 home runs, so batting cleanup, and had another opportunity here for the Dons to keep things rolling here with 2 outs.
This offense really is impressive. You had 3 different batters, each hitting over 6 home runs. They really do get the bat on ball well, and they have great averages as well as a team. Bear River also is pretty impressive on the year. Until that home run shot, their run differential was sitting somewhere at 142 to 35. So
crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff from both teams overall, as that one is swung on and missed. So Dally comes back with the strikeout to end the inning, but not before a big home run by Brooklyn Pintar to put the Dons up 1-0. We're at the bottom of the first. We'll take a quick break here, and we'll be back with the top of the second here on Spanish Fork 17. Back here on Spanish Fork 17, top of the second inning here. Dons leading 1-0 after a huge shot by Brooklyn Pintar. Home run to center field. Bears will look to respond, as that one is in for a strike.
Now looking for that lockdown inning here from Avery Sapp after the solo home run by Pintar, hoping to put up another 0 here on the scoreboard and maintain this lead that they've now established here early.
Yeah, it's been really impressive from Sapp so far. Really nothing going for Bear River here. Already the pitch outside here. Sapp already heading the count here. It's 1-2. That one has some contact on it. It's just going to go back behind the backstop. Still 1-2 here to Oakley Maxfield.
So now, having shown the rise ball here, wouldn't be shocked to see a changeup here. That's kind of been her put-away pitch. Instead, they opt for one in the dirt, trying to change the eye level there. Again, going high first and then going for something low there to try to get the strikeout.
Maxfield does have a home run on the season. That one, though, right there at the knees, and another strikeout for Sapp, and she is dealing.
My goodness, it's so impressive. Just again, the arsenal of pitches that she has at her disposal. It makes it so these Bears are just guessing what she's gonna throw, and it's just been such a perfect pitch mix so far for Avery Sapp, and it's resulted in 4 straight strikeouts to start this thing off.
Sapp dealing here. It's Dally now, the pitcher, and she'll take strike 1 as well.
Mercy. What are you supposed to do with that pitch? I mean, just a beautiful changeup right there on the outside part of the plate after you were showing heat to Maxfield, then you drop in just a beauty of an off-speed pitch. Like, it's just brutal.
That one goes back behind the backstop. It has been really tough to read her pitches so far for the Bears. Like we mentioned, one of the keys for them is trying to fight and get ahead in counts, and they have not been able to do that so far. Already 0-2 here to Dally. Put away pitch, and she does get contact on it, softly dribbled over to second base, and that'll be a ground out.
Man, doesn't that feel like a win almost for Bear River at this point? Just being able to make contact and get something into fair territory against Sapp just feels like a big deal here after 4 straight strikeouts. A little bit of weak contact there from Dally, but at least something, at least make the Dons defense have to make a play. And so, I mean, it feels like progress here for Bear River.
I guess on the bright side for Spanish Fork too, they had a little bit of activity. Jamie Davis had something to do over at second.
Yeah, it makes it a little more exciting on defense. It's like, oh wait, we're actually doing something here. It's not just Avery just completely dealing.
There is some good contact there though, and like you said, this may be a little bit of momentum for Bear River. Good single there to get on base by Burton. So with 2 outs, Dons will try to hold off the Bears here. Bears will try to respond. Coming up to bat will be number 12, Carly Miller. Miller on the season, 2 home runs and 11 RBIs. We'll see what she can do here against Sapp. Here's the pitch, another good hit and more contact to the left side of the plate. Another base hit for Bear River.
And just like that, once one person sees it and is able to at least get some kind of contact, then it just kind of feels like, oh, okay, pitcher's not completely unhittable. Let's just stand in there. And they've been very aggressive in these last 2 plate appearances, just swinging right at that first pitch and making solid contact. And so, hey, Bear River's got an opportunity here now to tie this ball game up. Runners on first and second.
Totally right on that. I mean, confidence really does go a long way. That was an excellent off-speed pitch, though, by Sapp to kind of get back in the groove here. Up to bat, Cammie Gibbs. Try and drive some runs home here. That one a little bit low. Count now 1-1.
So a little bit of trouble here for Avery Sapp, but still in the driver's seat, and that's a fantastic rise ball.
Yeah.
I mean, mercy. Like, that was so up and out of the strike zone. No one should be swinging at that, and yet somehow she gets it tempting enough to get this offering there.
Tries it again. That time, good job by Gibbs to hold off. It's 2-2 with a count. Now that rise ball, it really can be deceiving. You see it in baseball a lot. Pitchers like to throw up and in.
Oh, yes.
Try and get batters to chase. Oh, and good contact there, and that's going to be a base hit around third, heading into home. And scoring is Bear River. Good slide by Burton to get in there before the throw. And now the Bears have tied this one up, and a runner on third as well to boot.
Man, that was kind of a protect swing there from Gibbs. Didn't quite know what was coming. Ended up offering at that off-speed pitch, able to get just enough of that to send it right between first and second, and enough of a slow dribbler that was going to be a hard throw from right field. Still a nice throw, just not quite in time to cut down the runner. So yeah, this thing is all tied up after the kind of safety swing there again from Gibb. But hey, runs are runs.
Runs are runs indeed, and for Bear River to get contact, I think it really all started when Dally got some contact off of Sapp. It's kind of opened the door a little bit for this offensive run by the Bears. Count 1-1 here to Tage Austin. This one hit right back to Sapp. Sapp fumbles it a bit. She'll throw it over to first, and in time for the third out of the inning. So Bear River does respond here on offense, get a few hits and a run scored. Good base hit by the Bears, and we're all knotted up at 1 apiece. And we'd like to thank our sponsors for this one. Blue Diamond Auto Group, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, the attorneys at law of McKell, Thompson, Hunter, and the Driggs Mortgage Team. So far, so good from both squads. It's been impressive. Good pitching, good offense as well.
Yeah, seen a little mix of both things. Sapp showing some really dominant stuff. Again, finally Bear River able to crack the code on her after 4 straight strikeouts. They finally start making some contact, end up getting 3 straight singles there that end up scoring a run. So tying this ball game up after the huge blast by Brooklyn Pintar in the first inning there for Spanish Fork. So 1-1 going into this bottom half of the second inning. Spanish Fork hoping to answer here after the run coming across for Bear River. It'll be Dally back on the bump to get things rolling here on defense here for the Bears, who have looked every bit as impressive as I thought they would be. I mean, coming into this ball game, did a little bit of research on them, and yeah, I mean, they're still sitting right at the top of their class, which is where I expected them to be. Again, watching these ball clubs duke it out for the past several years in Class 4A in the state playoffs has always been a treat. And so when I found out that this game was happening, I was so excited. I just love seeing these two teams compete against each other. It's always a treat, always a blast, and it's usually always a super close game. I mean, again, the one that I called 3 years ago literally was down to the last pitch, and you get that crazy controversial call at first base that ends up, you know, basically deciding the state championship. So it's always a crazy game between these two.
Always exciting, that's for sure. It'll be Ashlyn Losey here taking that first pitch for a ball. That one a little high as well. Dally falls behind here, count now 2-0. 2-0 pitch, that one in the dirt.
Yeah, nice job here by Losey, recognizing that base runners are probably a good thing to have here at the top of this, bottom half of this second inning, trying to score a run, retake this lead. So having a nice patient approach here, making Dally throw strikes, which she is able to throw one there. So now 3-1. But I like this approach from Losey, just making Dally get it into her. So nice opportunity here.
This one hit hard over to left field, and it cleared the fence. Yes, it did. Home run, Ashleen Losey, and the Dons, just like that, take the lead back. It's now 2-1.
Golly, what an absolute laser shot
That
there
was a laser
from Losey. I felt like it was right above the fence. Like, I don't think it went any higher than like 5 feet, I feel like, during its whole trip. But man, an absolute just laser shot right there out to left field. Just sneaks over the fence, and just like that. And that's how it works with the Dons here. Literally, their offense can just like that with the long ball change the complexion of a ball game so quickly. And so now they retake that lead 2-1.
I think just as impressive in that bat was how Losey was able to be patient, find the pitch that she wanted. She waited for Dally to kind of give her something over the middle of the plate, and she took it and went with it. Like you said, an absolute rocket shot. Spanish Fork takes the lead back here 2-1. And now up to bat for the Dons is Peyton Hall, the third baseman. Pitch from Dally, that one just outside, but umpire's going to call it a strike. Good frame job again by Maxfield.
Yeah, Hall, one of those couple that already have 6 home runs on the season, has some pop in that bat. She will go down on strikes on that one, though.
Good bounce back there by Dally to get the strikeout. So with one down, I'll bring up Avery Sapp, the pitcher for the Dons, who's been so impressive here to start. And looks like a ball ended up on the field. They're going to take time.
So obviously we've talked about Sapp's exploits on the mound, and she's been one of the best pitchers in all the state, but she ain't no slouch at the plate either. She's batting .520 on this season, and has 3 home runs, and has batted in 17, has scored 18 times, has 26 hits. I mean, she's just been an all-around player here for Spanish Fork, and she's only a sophomore, which is just crazy. She's already one of their top performers, and they get her for another 2 years.
I think the most impressive thing, too, if you look at this lineup for Spanish Fork, is that, you know, so many of them, like you said, are sophomores, are juniors. There's only a few seniors on the squad. It's pretty crazy to think, you know, that they've already become this dominant, and to have another year to go. The prospects are bright, definitely, with the Dons softball squad, that's for sure.
It is never a reboot for Spanish Fork. It is always just a reload.
It's amazing, honestly. I mean, and not just here, but I mean all around. It's amazing to see the amount of talent that comes up through not only softball, baseball as well. It's crazy. Spanish Fork does have a storied history, as that one is in for a strike, and another strikeout for Dally. Bear River pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, again, Kate Dally showing that she's got some punch-out power too. She's got 5 strikeouts in this ballgame, so she's actually one ahead of Avery Sapp at this point in terms of punch-outs here in this ballgame. But thankfully for the Dons, the long ball is working for them. And coming up here is Aubrey Leonard, who's another one that's got some pop. She ended up hitting a 3-run blast in last week's ball game that we covered. She's got 5 on the season. I mean, your number 8 hitter has 5 home runs. Are you kidding me? Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah, the spread for Spanish Fork's offense is just unbelievable with the amount of home runs they get. Look at this. The first time through the lineup here, Spanish Fork, it's strikeout, strikeout, home run, strikeout, home run, strikeout, strikeout.
Literally all or nothing.
It's all or nothing for the Dons right now. This one popped up to center field, drifting in to make the catch is number 33, Olivia Taylor, and that'll do it for the Dons here on the bottom half of the second inning. But they do get another laser home run shot from Ashlyn Losey. Dons take the 2-1 lead. We'll be back with the top of the third here on Spanish Fork 17. Back here on Spanish Fork 17, top of the third inning, scored 2-1. The Dons retake the lead. We'll face the top of the order here. Coming up for the second time around, it'll be Kinley Nelson, the left fielder for Bear River. She struck out her first time at bat, but she grounds that one hardly towards the dugout.
Yeah, Nelson, one of 4 straight strikeout victims to start this ball game off for Avery Sapp. Able to string together some hits there in the second inning, so Sapp hoping to calm things back down here in the third, and again, hopefully put up a goose egg here in the third inning and keep Spanish Fork in the lead here after, again, another home run. All about the long ball here for the Dons today.
This one grounded softly over to first base, and a misplay there by Davis. And that'll be a single there for Nelson off of the error.
Yeah, just not quite able to have a nice clean throw over there to first base. Davis doesn't quite get the oomph there. Nice job to be able to range over there, though. Again, needed a little bit more communication, I think, between the two of them as they both kind of went for that ball, as that one is going to be laid down.
Oh, and that one's thrown into center field. No one's home. Running around third is Nelson. She's going to score, and Bear River has tied this one up on the missed throw. A little bit of a unforced error by Spanish Fork, and not something you want to see ideally.
Yeah, that one's rough, as that's like your classic example of why you want someone backing you up, and unfortunately the left fielder was backing up over on third base side as opposed to second base, and so wasn't quite ready to get to that one, so instead it just flies all the way over to the fence. That's an easy run there for Nelson.
That could have been drastic for Bear River for the moment. It looked like Nelson had overran second. What could have been a double play there turns into a run for Bear River. So Bears are doing a good job here of utilizing some small ball, and putting the ball in play has certainly benefited them. Now it's 2-2, and as you saw there, Coach Jarvis for Spanish Fork coming in to give a word to the Dons, try and get them to settle down a little bit.
Yeah, talk about contrasting offensive styles here in this ball game. For Spanish Fork, 2 solo home runs. For Bear River, 3 straight singles, and then on this one, it's just some sloppy defense there by Spanish Fork, manufacturing a run there for the Bears.
This one grounded over to first, and they'll get it in time for the out, and Maxfield will ground out for second out of the inning.
Yeah, strong throw there from Pintar. The throw across the diamond is always hard, but it's even harder in my opinion in softball, just because you can't quite get as much velocity on the softball, and along with that, it's a shorter run from home to first in shortstop, and so to make that strong throw over to first is rather impressive.
Sapp again wheeling and dealing. First pitch is strike to Oakley Maxfield, who struck out her last time up. Catcher for the Bears. She swings and misses there for strike 2.
Yeah, once again, nice rise ball. That was what was the trouble for Maxfield in her last at bat as well. Swung at a really nasty rise ball early, and she gets him again.
Yeah, Sapp really just using that rise ball to perfection. And Maxfield goes down easily. But again, Bear River strikes back, and they tie this one up. It's 2-2 as we go to the middle of the third inning. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for today's coverage.
Yeah, that's the Blue Diamond Auto Group, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, McKell Thompson and Hunter, Attorneys at Law, and the Driggs Mortgage Team.
Well, 2 innings, 2 home runs for Spanish Fork. Reckon we see another one here?
I reckon we just might see another one, seeing that we've got the top of the order is going to be due back up here after Oakley Beckstrom takes her cuts. I mean, Trinity Benson with some power, but obviously Jamie Davis with power, as she's the home run leader coming into this ball game. And then if anyone gets on, you've got Brooklyn Pintar, who's already hit one in this ball game. And so I think there is a decent chance of seeing another home run here in this inning. And certainly for the Dons, you want to see it.
Well, the Dons have certainly brought the power, and they have all season, and just impressive hitting on display from them. As if we mentioned, just the distribution of hitting on this team is certainly impressive. When top to bottom, every hitter has a chance to go yard. Certainly shows how strong they are on offense, and they really are going to be a force to be reckoned with come playoff time. It's won an excellent game, though, so far through 2.5. And as we mentioned, Oakley Beckstrom up. And this is going to be your first at-bat on the ballgame.
So Beckstrom batting .320 on the season, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs, 16 hits, 18 runs scored. So that's pretty dang good production from your number 9 hitter. Like, I mean, again, as we've been highlighting this entire ball game, like just the depth of this Dons lineup is absolutely insane. I mean, you got your number 9 hitter batting .320, and there's just nothing you can do. There's no break in this lineup.
It's an all-star lineup. .320 is insane, and 12 runs batted in. Certainly been impressive there. She takes a hard swing and a miss. Now the count is 1-2. Dally certainly mixing it up as well. She's been impressive. And she's going to get herself another strikeout.
Yeah, that's a pretty pitch, and that's where she's been living all ball game, right there on that outside, low outside part of the plate to these Dons right-handed hitters. I mean, just able to locate it so perfectly. Just gets just that little piece of black on the plate, and it's been working for her. I mean, she's got that's strikeout number 6 in this ball game, and really it's been all or nothing here for the Spanish Fork Dons. It's either been a home run or a strikeout, and so hopefully it swings more towards the I would take just something in between all or nothing. You know, let's see some normal hits maybe along with some of these home runs, and Benson's certainly one of those that knows how to get herself on base.
Benson does aim bunt there, and that one is low enough. They're going to call it a ball, and she gets ahead here in the count, 2-0. Benson, as you mentioned, a good hitter, 2 home runs on the year, 16 RBIs, batting just a measly .576 on the year.
Yeah, no big deal.
.576 is impressive in basketball terms for shooting percentage.
Oh, golly.
Let alone batting average.
Does Rudy Gobert, who only dunked the ball, I feel like he barely has a 57% field goal percentage. So I mean you're expecting something in the 280s or something in softball and in baseball, and golly, she's .576. You kidding me? That's crazy. And especially against, you look at pitchers like Dally, she's been impressive. I mean, to be able to get contact like that consistently, 2-3 hits a game, that's impressive. And it's not just her as well. I mean, you look at other batters in the lineup who have put up equally impressive numbers. Sapp herself, .520 hitter. It's crazy. As she applies this one deep, this one might have a chance. It goes over the warning track, and a great catch at the wall right there by number 7, Kinley Nelson. That is a candidate for MVP Sports, well, I should say play of the game. MVP Sports Player of the game potentially as well for that one. That is a run-saving catch. That was literally flipped over the fence to be able to finish off that catch. Yeah, obviously that had the power there by Benson to have found its way over the fence, but man, just a stellar play out there, and to have the awareness of being able to catch it and still be able to maintain it while tripping over the fence. Also, merciful heavens, what a pitch there from Dally.
That was a great pitch as well. Wow, we've seen some impressive plays so far on this one. It's been a great matchup. It's lived up to the billing already through about 3 innings of play.
Yes, it has. There's
that one pitch. Also a great pitch in for a strike. count 0-2 now.
So what I love about that is she stayed aggressive, but stayed working with what has been working for her so far in this ball game. She gets the just nasty looking check swing and then goes right to her strength on that outside corner, and then a smart pitch there. Great pitcher's pitch goes with the rise ball, trying to get Davis to chase. And so, hey, I mean, this is a clinic on how to pitch. Both these pitchers, Sapp and Daly, showing you everything they have in their arsenal.
And that one is another great pitch and another strikeout for Daly. It's been impressive. So we go to the middle of the inning, or I should say the bottom of the inning. Score now 2-2, and we'll take a quick break and be back with the fourth here on Spanish Fork 17.
Coming to bat at the top of the fourth inning is the pitcher, Kate Dahl, third person, and Miller in the hole.
Top of the fourth inning here on Spanish Fork 17. The score 2 apiece in this impressive matchup so far between Bear River and Spanish Fork. And already a weakly hit ground ball over to the left side of the field. And Pintar will throw that one over there to first to get the out.
Brings to bat shortstop number
Yeah, it may not be a strikeout, but that is more efficient than a strikeout. One pitch gets a slow roller over there to Pintar. Pintar makes the play. Quick, easy one here in the top half of the fourth inning.
So Daly goes down, and that'll bring up Burton, who swings and misses. Burton kind of got things going a little bit earlier in the game with her single. She ended up being one of the runs scored to tie things up early on in the second, and she gets herself another single this time, 2 for 2 in the ball game. Another impressive hit by Burton.
Yeah, able to just get a nice piece of that one, sends it right in between shortstop and third base. Kind of looked pretty similar to her first hit in this ball game. So other hitters struggling in this ball game here against Sapp, but not Courtney Burton, as she's now 2 for 2.
I'll bring up Carly Miller. Miller, another player who got a hit off of Sapp earlier in the ball game. She takes strike 1. Miller 2 home runs, 11 RBI on the season, and a beautiful rise ball there for strike 2.
Mercy, just how high that thing climbed was insane. It looked like it was going to the middle part of the plate, and yet it's somehow above her eyes.
And she gets her fooled. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. First strikeout in a while, actually, for Sapp.
brings to bat your third baseman number
That is number 5, I believe, on the ball game. Only number 5.
Only 5, right?
But
I've got 6 for her. So
Oh,
she had
okay.
the 4 to start things off, and then she did strike out Maxfield in that last inning. So this
Oh,
one
good
here
point.
against Miller, number 6, but an absolute masterclass there of how to use your eye level. Goes for the rise ball with strike 2, and then immediately then drops a nice off speed inside and low to kind of counterbalance it. Just fantastic.
I'm doing a disservice to Sapp. 6 strikeouts.
Now what you doing?
I don't know. I don't know what I was looking at then. But talking about the pitchers matchup, 6 strikeouts for her, as that one goes in the dirt. 6 strikeouts for Sapp, and then you look at Daly on the other end, and hopefully I don't have this one wrong. 7 strikeouts for her on
I
the
do
game.
have 7 as well.
Okay, good. I'm glad I have you, Andrew. Andrew's keeping me in check.
I try.
And score 2-2 in the top half of the 4th inning. beautiful rise ball again, and another strikeout. And so 7 strikeouts apiece for both pitchers. And we're going to go to the middle of the 4th inning. Again, score 2-2. The Dons will try and retake the lead in the bottom half. And we'd like to thank our sponsors for their help and support. As always, the Blue Diamond Auto Group, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Two Jacks Pizza, the Attorneys at Law, Mikkel Thompson Hunter, and the Driggs Mortgage Team.
Boy, could I go for a Two Jacks Pizza right now. Now, granted, I'm actually heading to a wedding dinner here after this ball game, and I'm getting me some Tucanos, but still, I haven't eaten since like this morning, and boy, every time we bring up Two Jacks Pizza, I'm just like, oh mercy. A nice pepperoni and sausage pizza with some barbecue chicken cheese sticks. Oh, I could have that in my life and be happy.
Yeah, those cheese sticks are on point. Talk about underrated.
Underrated. They even say that they're the home of the cheese stick, and they're correct, and yet somehow it is still underrated.
Still can be underrated. You can still be great and still be underrated.
It can still be the home and still like not be given its due, and it usually isn't.
I'm gonna start making comparisons for the Two Jacks cheese sticks.
The
Donovan Mitchell cheese sticks.
The Donovan Mitchell, the Mike Trout. I don't know. The GOAT. Whatever you want to call it, it's they're absolutely fantastic, which is what's due up here for Spanish Fork is the heart of their lineup, Pintar, Mitchell, and Losi here coming up. So we didn't get a home run in inning number 3, but I'm feeling pretty good here in inning number 4 again. Pintar already with one in this ball game.
Let's see if Pintar can give us number 2 here. And if you were just joining us, Pintar earlier in this ball game had an absolute monster shot to center field to put the Dons on the board early on. Tell Daly trying to be careful here, already 2-0 the count. A little bit worried to put one over the middle of the plate. And who can blame her?
Yeah, rightly so. Again, and that was on a full count with 2 outs. Pintar able to just put an absolute charge into a good pitcher's pitch. Again, it was right where she's been living. It was kind of on that low outside part of the plate, but able to read it perfectly and just sent an absolute moonshot out here to center field. Again, it actually went over our setup here out in center field. Like it was crushed.
Yeah, it was a no-doubter, and that one just outside and a 4-pitch walk. Probably not the worst thing in the world there for Daly. But then again, every hitter on this team is dangerous, and brings up Kylie Mitchell. She did strike out her first time up, but again, Mitchell on the year, hitting .429, 27 RBIs, 6 home runs herself, so always a force to be reckoned with. She does try to lay down a bunt, and that one's going to go foul. And it'll be Pintar having to run back to first base, and she'll try and do it all over again.
Yeah, you don't typically see Spanish Fork playing the small ball game because, well, honestly, I mean, usually they've been blowing out their opponents this season, so runs haven't necessarily been at a premium for them. But I like this approach. Pintar's got the speed.
Oh, and that is a pickoff. They calling her out?
Oh, they are saying she is safe.
Okay.
But not by much.
A little bit confused there by the call.
Yeah,
by the he kind of put his hand up.
Kind of almost out gesture with his left hand, and then actually went with the full safe sign. And yeah, I was confused, and it certainly was close enough that I thought she could have been out.
A little bit too close for comfort there. Sure, their first base coach telling her just to be a little bit more aware next time. 2-1 to count. They'll try and run the hit and run again, or bunt and run, I should say. And again, it goes behind the backstop. Count now 2-2. Yeah, it is a little surprising. We haven't seen this from Spanish Fork really, but again, a good opponent here in Bear River, good pitcher in Daly. Do what you can.
Yeah, I mean, you just came off a loss where you got shut out by Tooele. I mean, so you feel like runs have just kind of not been there, which, I mean, hey, for Spanish Fork, it really feels that way as she does go down on strikes, but Pintar able to be alert enough to get over to second base.
A good hits-up play by Pintar to steal second there. But, yeah, and another strikeout for Daly, who has been absolutely amazing in this one. But she has to go up against another big-time hitter in Losi. She herself had a laser home run earlier in this one.
Yeah, home run number 4 on the season for Losi. 18 runs batted in, batting .458 coming into this ball game. I mean, again, every single hitter in this lineup, I'm like, my goodness, what a season. Then you look at the next one, it's like, wow, they're also having a season. And so it's been that kind of special offensive season for the Dons here in 2021, almost like they're making up for the fact that there wasn't much of a 2020 season.
Callie the pitch, this one right up the middle, base hit. Going around is Pintar. She's going to try and score. Here comes the throw of the plate, and it's over the catcher's head. And that'll be third run and the leading run for the Dons. They'll take a 3-2 advantage here off the single by Losi, and it's been the Losi and Pintar show here in this one.
Yeah, nice little just straight single right up the middle, able to get a nice piece of it. And it's the first run of this ball game for Spanish Fork not scored on a home run. So again, those 2 solo shots by Pintar and Losi, and then they combine again here for this run. It's Pintar scoring on the RBI single there by Losi and retaking the lead. Are the Lady Dons here in this ball game?
That one in for a strike there to Peyton Hall. Hall struck out her first time up. Another fire pitch here, and that one's going to go right through the gap to center field, and a base hit for Hall.
Hey, look at this. Hits that aren't just home runs here for Spanish Fork, able to see some pitches here by Daly and just slap them right up the middle. I like this approach here in this inning by Spanish Fork. I mean, obviously, if you can hit home runs, like you hit your dingers, you know, but I like this idea of kind of staying back a little bit on it more, making Daly pitch and just waiting on it long enough to just take what she's given you, which right now is the stuff that's on the outside part of the plate. So wait on it a little bit. Don't try to pull it out. Just wait on it a bit and just slap it up the middle like these 2 singles they've had here in this inning. So nice job here in the 4th inning for Spanish Fork, able to string together a couple hits.
The most impressive thing, too, is you look at it like you said, great hitters don't just swing for the fences. Great hitters know how to be patient. They know how to just get simple contact, too, when they need it. And, Spanish Fork is definitely shown that top to bottom. I think Losi, for example, that first at bat was just extremely patient. Found the pitch she wanted. As that one's hit again, and over to third, they'll try and get the double to no avail. They do get the force, though, at third. Good play there by Burton, the shortstop for Bear River, to throw it over to third and get the force.
Yeah, alert play there to know that you want to cut the lead runner. And you know, for her also, it happened to be the shortest throw. But still, it's sometimes in your brain, you're just wired to be like, I need to get this over to first base, but able to be like, okay, wait, I've got to force out at third. That's where my lead runner is. Try to make the play there, and she had enough time and able to do that. So now kind of helping to maybe squelch this little run here by Spanish Fork.
That one in for a strike to Oakley Beckstrom, and again, we're at the bottom of the lineup for Spanish Fork. She struck out her first time up. She does get contact here, though, and sends it over the stands. And count now is 1-2.
So I hate being this person, but it's actually Aubrey Leonard currently up.
Oh, is it Aubrey Leonard?
For the Dons. But still, it's number 8 hitter in the lineup. Ooh, that just missed.
Getting a little ahead of myself.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I blame the wind.
That is generally a good thing to blame, and it has been blowing pretty hard the past couple days.
Yeah, it has been quite windy. Well, Leonard does go down, so I guess Beckstrom will have to wait until next inning to try and score. So that'll do it for the third. Fourth, I should say. Spanish Fork is took the lead and is up 3-2. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with the 5th inning on Spanish Fork 17.
Bear River, Spanish Fork 3.
Top of the 5th here on Spanish Fork, 17 score 3-2. The Lady Dons leading the Bears here. That one a wild pitch there. One in the dirt from Sap. Normally don't see that from her.
Yeah, you really don't. She's usually very much in command. But, you know, every pitcher's going to at least have a couple pitches get away from her. So she's allowed a couple.
I think she's given a break, too. I think she's been impressive, to say the least.
So I do want to make a quick correction. We said at the beginning of the broadcast that Bear River was sitting at number 2 in RPI. Well, actually, according to UHSAA, they actually are number 1 in Class 4A. They are above Tooele. I thought that the win against Spanish Fork would give Tooele the necessary bump to skip their way above Bear River, but they are just sitting just beneath them there at number 2. So Bear River and Spanish Fork, a clash of number 1s in RPI in their respective classes. Didn't want to go the rest of the game without shortchanging these guys. So
all the more reason to stay tuned and watch, that's for sure. Again, apologies for that. We're working on it, both of us, especially me. A little rusty. And Tage does get a hit, goes right back to Sap and over to first for the out. So good job there by Sap. I think something we overlooked while we were talking about that. She was behind 3-0 on the count. Was able to fight her way back and get the out.
Yeah, the first 2 pitches kind of non-competitive pitches, as you will. Again, that first one super wild in the dirt. Another one a rise ball that kind of got away from her outside, but then able to settle into that at bat and ends up inducing that weak contact. And that was a laser.
That was an absolute laser shot. And that was Kinley Nelson there, number 7 for the Bears. It's her 3rd time up. She struck out her 1st time. Had a single her 2nd time up. There's the pitch, and she lays off that one wisely, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, scored the 2nd run of the ball game for Bear River. The recipient of 2 different errors that ended up helping her to advance. One of them a throw from first base, trying to get a double play over there at second base, and scored it all the way out into the outfield, out to the fence, and ended up being kind of an easy trot to home there for Nelson. So hoping here for some better defense.
And this one's hit hard over to center field. It's going to go off the fence and rebound. This might be a double for her, and she is going to go up standing. Boy, an absolute shot by Kinley Nelson over the outfield. That one almost went out.
Yeah, that's one that off the bat, I would not have anticipated it going as deep as it was. The wind just happens to be blowing in basically that kind of left center direction, so it definitely got some carry here from some pretty strong wind. It just kept sailing and ended up hitting the bottom of the fence. Again, I would have thought that would have been an easy fly ball out there for Leonard. Instead, it just kept sailing.
Yeah, the wind is making things tricky. We saw this earlier. I think there was a hit by Spanish Fork. One of the plays of the game, actually, over in left field. It was Kinley Nelson who actually made the play over there at the wall, pretty much almost going over. It looked like a routine fly ball, and the wind just ended up carrying it all the way to the fence. Here as we see a bunt laid down, and they'll get the out over at second, or at first I should say. So that'll be 2 down for Bear River.
Again, playing small ball here. Both teams recognizing that offense is going to be at a premium. Whenever they can get someone closer to home, they're going to take it. And so, nice little job there by Taylor to lay one down. Dangerous throw across the diamond, though, from first. I'm not sure if I would have thrown that ball over there, but they do field it cleanly, thankfully. So the runner does stay over there at third base.
Yeah, like you mentioned, they were bitten by a mistake earlier in the game where they threw to second and there was nobody to back up the second baseman. Ball went in the outfield. That ended up being one of the tying runs earlier by Nelson. Maxfield will get a single here, and speaking of getting tied up, we're knotted up at 3 apiece. Great single by Maxfield, the main hitter for the squad, and she comes through with a big-time hit.
Golly, every single time that Spanish Fork has reclaimed that lead, it feels like the very next inning there for Bear River. They've just gotten things rolling just enough to retie this ball game up. It has been an absolute classic here on Spanish Fork 17. You're getting a little bit of everything. You're getting home runs, you're getting great pitching, you're getting small ball, you're getting some crazy defensive plays. I mean, oof. You're getting an absolute gem here.
That's for sure. It's been close this whole time. It started off with the Spanish Fork home run by Brooklyn Pintar. Quickly after that, Bear River knotted things up with a few singles, and then after that, another home run by Ashlyn Losey by the Dons, and then again, small ball in hits and singles have been key for Bear River to stay in this one. It was 1-1, 2-2, and now 3-3 here as that one is in for a strike. Great pitch again by Sapp. Sapp has looked great. Don't get it shaken up. Don't get it mistaken. But Bear River has done a great job of fighting and trying to keep up with her. Although she does get the strikeout here to close the inning. Maxfield, Oakley Maxfield, I should say, has had a tough time against her today. 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, rough outing for her. It's really been the rise ball of Sapp that's given her big issues.
So a struggle for her. It's a tie ball game here as we go to the middle of the 3rd inning, and that'll give us time to thank our sponsors for their support of today's ball game. Again, our sponsors: Blue Diamond Auto Group, Lance Wilson State Farm, MVP Sports, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 2 Jack's Pizza, attorneys at law McKell, Thompson, and Hunter, and the Driggs Mortgage Team. Well, as we go to the bottom of the 5th, again, as we mentioned throughout this game, it's been a story of Spanish Fork getting ahead and Bear River responding, and now Spanish Fork, once again, their job is to try and retake this lead.
It really is, and I mean, it's been just a crazy game here. Again, home runs, defensive plays, small ball, like everything that you can think of. Great pitching performances. Like it's had a little bit of everything, and it's been a tight ball game too. Again, it's been every single time the Dons find their way back into the lead, Bear River in basically the next inning figures it out and reties the ball game up. Thankfully for Spanish Fork, it's the top of the order once again. You got Benson, Davis, and Pintar coming up here, and so certainly about the best place you can think of in terms of the Dons lineup to get things rolling again and be able to retake the lead here in the 5th.
So it'll be Oakley Beckstrom to start for the Dons, followed up by Trinity Benson and Jamie Davis. Again, it'll be Daly to pitch as that one is high and away for ball 1. Beckstrom on the game had a strikeout her first time up. This is only her 2nd appearance. And she swings and misses at that one.
Yeah, that tells you what kind of ball game this has been. You know, like we're in the 5th inning and your number 9 hitter is just getting up for her 2nd at bat. Like it's been a very tight ball game. It's been hotly contested. There's been just enough hitting on both sides to manufacture runs essentially. But again, like don't be fooled that the fact that this is 3-3 and thinking that the pitching's been awful. The pitching has actually been sensational in this ball game.
One fouled away. Good job by Beckstrom to stay alive. As you mentioned, this has been a pitcher's duel for sure, mixed in with some excellent hitting by both squads. And just counting up the tally of strikeouts for Daly, it's getting ridiculous right now. And Sapp as well. That one just a bit outside there. We have a full count here for the Dons. Beckstrom, a .320 hitter on the year. We'll see what she can do here. Full count. Grounds it right back to Daly. Good reaction by her to throw it over to first. Not an easy play there when you have a comebacker like that.
No, and it's pretty similar to the hits that Losey and Hall had in that 4th inning. Did a good job of waiting enough on that low outside pitch to send it up the middle, and that was just a nice play there by Daly, and able to react quick enough, gets the glove down, then makes the throw over to first base.
So I'll bring up Trinity Benson And I believe Benson was the one who almost had a home run earlier, a fly out that pretty much went the full distance, just needed a few more feet.
It really did. Again, the wind carried it. I thought it was going to be just a routine fly ball. It ended up kind of carrying because, again, that wind is blowing out to kind of left center, and was able to give it just enough of a ride. But, man, what a play at the fence over there.
Yeah, Kinley Nelson again with that play was so impressive. Benson hoping to get her shot again at this one. 2-0 count here. She does get it underneath the glove of the shortstop, and that'll be a single for Benson. Her first hit of the game, and it goes underneath the glove of the shortstop, Courtney Burton.
Yeah, how rare is it that you can be 1 for 3 in a ball game and know that it's going to bring your average down? You know, like sitting there at 576 coming into this ball game, Trinity Benson, and you get a single and you're like, oh, but I'm 1 for 3. And now even if she goes 2 for 4, technically her average will technically go down. But definitely a needed hit here in the 5th inning, and she's got some speed as she just showcased it right there on that pass ball.
Gets herself into scoring position. Another person who's probably saying the same thing, Andrew, is the one at the plate right now. Jamie Davis so far 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Her average on the year, 433.
Yeah, kind of rare to see Davis struggling here again. Dolly's been absolutely impressive, but again, this Dons lineup can catch fire at any moment, and Davis is one of those that is able to do that. Again, came into this game leading the Dons in extra base hits, specifically in home runs as well, and they rely a lot on the production that she brings in that 2-hole, and now she's got Benson over there in scoring position.
That one is hit to foul and out of play, and it's going to be a 2-2 count. It'll be Brooklyn Pintar on deck and up to hit after Davis. She, of course, had the home run earlier. A good hit here. That one's going to drift over the head of Burton and into left field for a single. And I'll put runners on the corners here. Great position for Spanish Fork to be in with 1 out.
Oh my gosh, how she got a piece of that rise ball, I have no idea. That thing was soaring. She had no business swinging at it, and yet somehow she's able to make contact, and it just bloops over the shortstop's head. So yeah, runners on the corners now for the ever dangerous Brooklyn Pintar, who's already got the solo blast in this ball game. Scored in the 4th inning when she took a walk. And so 2 runs scored, a home run, and now in a big opportunity here for the Dons to retake the lead with runners on the corners.
Yeah, it's felt like, this game has been neck and neck, and it's got to be, as frustrating as it is for the Dons that they haven't been able to put this one away yet. They have at the same time been in control pretty much the whole game. They've been able to retake leads, and we'll see if they can do that again here. They're, again, like you said, in a great position here with their primetime batter, Brooklyn Pintar, one of the best hitters, as we mentioned, in the state of Utah. She's going to square up to bunt here, though, and smart play there to move Davis up to second. You knew that Bear River wasn't going to take any chances.
Yeah, basically going to second on indifference there. It actually kind of caught the catcher enough off guard that you kind of saw her slow her roll in terms of her throw over to the pitcher. Oh, wow. That's a break.
That is a big time break there. That should have been out number 2 there. It's always a tough play though when you're having to scramble in, and with the wind especially, but like you said, that could have been a key out for Bear River to get out of this jam.
Yeah, this is the last person you want to see from this Dons lineup with 2 runners in scoring position. And when you've got any kind of chance to get Brooklyn Pintar out, you hope that you can maximize on it. Unfortunately, they let that one fall to the ground.
We'll mention that if they can get Pintar out, they have Kylie Mitchell. Again, great hitter, but 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts on the game. They have to get through Pintar, though, first. Pintar is doing the most to try and fight this one off. Count 1-2. Again, 1 out here, top of the 5th inning. Score 3-3 in this classic matchup between Bear River and Spanish Fork. Here's a pitch. That one hit deep over to right field, just enough to come in. Tagging up and scoring for Spanish Fork is Jamie Davis, and the Dons retake the lead. Great piece of hitting there by Pintar to drive in the run.
Yep.
I should say that's Benson, I believe, actually. My apologies.
Yeah, Benson scoring on that one and Davis making her way over to third base. But, you know, sometimes you don't need a home run. You just need a deep fly ball, and that's exactly what Pintar provided there. And again, on a pitch that you're not necessarily going to drive that over the fence, but instead waits on it enough, make sure that she can barrel it up a decent amount, gets it out into the outfield, and puts the Dons back in the lead.
Big time hit, and again, we mentioned that potential out over in foul ground. That would have been huge for Bear River.
Looms large.
Does loom large. That one fouled, almost caught by the catcher there. It's 0-2. However, if Bear River can get out of this one, just the one run, they have been able to come back now multiple occasions. They'll just have to try and do it again. 0-2 count. That one just outside. It's a good pitch, but just a little bit off.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that one be called a strike in this ball game. So I felt like that caught some black, but unfortunately for Dolly, it goes the other way and it's a ball.
That one low as well. She's barely missing here, but good eye here overall by Mitchell. That'll bring us to 2-2.
And what a big, this feels like a key one here for Spanish Fork. If Mitchell can find a way to make contact, which she doesn't, that would have been very big, being able to try to score that run from third.
However, for Bear River, that was key, getting that strikeout there. So we head to the top of the 6th inning. This one has been an absolute classic. Spanish Fork retakes the lead again, 4-3. We'll be back with the 6th inning on Spanish Fork 17.
After 5 complete innings, Bear River 3, Spanish Fork 4. Leading off at the top of 6 for Bear River, pitcher number 9, Kate Dahl. Burton on deck and Miller in the hole.
Coming down to the wire here on Spanish Fork 17, score 4-3. Dons leading Bear River here. This one isn't over yet. We go to the top of the 6th here, and it'll be Kate Daly to start this one off, and that one is a called strike on the inside part of the plate.
Yeah, that's a great pitch by Sapp. It just freezes her up there on that inside part of the plate. That's not a spot that the pitchers have really been using in this ball game, and then she gets her on an absolute knee buckler of a curveball for strike 2.
That was insane, the drop on that one. Sapp still has it here. These two pitchers have been impressive, that's for sure. Sapp will try and put Dolly away here, and she does. Strike 3, throw over to first, and that'll get her for out number 1.
Heads up play by Loki. Brings the bat for shortstop number 4, Courtney Miller on deck and Gibbs in the hole.
That was certainly an impressive way to start this 6th inning for Sapp.
Yeah, nice job there again. Just 3 straight just money pitches. Rings her up on that inside part of the plate, then knee buckler, and then gets her chasing as well once again. And man, yeah, Sapp's been absolutely in her bag with all of her pitches in this ball game. Again, you may look at the score here and think, oh, 4-3. This isn't like a a pitcher's duel, but man, if you're here actively watching this ball game, it absolutely still has been, despite the fact that there has been a little bit of offense in this game.
Burton does get a piece of that one. It goes to the backstop, however. Count now 1-2. Burton has been one of the Bear River players who has been successful against Sap in this one. 2 singles. They're going to need her to get on base here with 1 out if they want to try and get back in this one. Good contact to stay alive.
Yeah, I like that pitch from Sap. Had been going outside for most of this at bat, and then goes right in for the hands there, and does end up jamming her. We'll see what she's got here on this next offering.
This one hit to second, and that one will be caught by Davis. That'll be out number 2.
Yeah, first time that Burton's been out. Again, started this ball game with 2 straight singles, and Sap able to induce the weak pop-up there to second base, and now 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Finally, with another opportunity here to get that lockdown inning, finally get that run across, and then put up a 0 on the scoreboard. She throws another knee buckler there for a strike.
It's an absolute beauty of a pitch. Carly Miller up trying to make something happen. It's really tough, though, when you're going against one of the best. That one in the dirt, however, count 1-1. Miller had a hit of her own the first time up. That one trying to chase her outside with an off-speed magic, but no doing. 2-1.
Yeah, not quite able to find the black part of the plate there. Still a nice pitcher's pitch, as you will, and then goes right back, going from outside to inside, but again, just missing that inside part of the plate.
3-1 here. And just inside, good eye by Miller, and she will get on first. See if she gets moved up here to second potentially.
And to tell you how spot on Sap has been in this ball game, that's her first walk. And for that matter, Dalley's only walked 1 batter in this ball game. So both pitchers have been on point. They've been throwing strikes. It's just been a fantastic ball game. Again, just enough offense to really kind of make things interesting, but also you've seen some just dominant pitching on both sides, as that one is going to catch the inside part for a strike.
Yeah, no doubter there to Cammie Gibbs. Gibbs with a single and a strikeout in her 2 plate appearances. Goes the pitch. That one in there for a strike.
Golly, these are some absolute money pitches here from Sap, 2 that have just kissed that inside part of the plate. Again, both pitchers mostly working on the outside part of the plate to all of the right-handed hitters, and being able to establish that inside part of the plate is huge as she tries to get her chasing on something inside that time, but Gibbs is able to hold off.
I'm a little surprised that they haven't moved Miller over there. Nobody really in the vicinity to cover second. Nonetheless, 1-2 count, and good job by Gibbs to foul that one, stay alive.
Yeah, with that pitch trying to raise the eye level once again, going with the rise ball. Wouldn't be shocked to see something again low and outside here.
Oh, this one's hit hard and deep over to left field, way back, and that one is gone. What a shot by Cammie Gibbs to put Bear River in front, and just when you thought Spanish Fork had this one under control, about to take this one to the bottom half of the inning, one hit changes everything, and now Bear River has their first lead of this ball game.
Man, that may be the turning point of this ball game. Again, as we've been saying, like, Spanish Fork had basically been in control this entire time. Like, Bear River had been clawing back in every single time the Dons took the lead, but it was the Dons establishing themselves. This is the first time that Bear River has had the lead in this ball game. A 2-run blast there by Cammie Gibbs, and just kind of felt like a little bit of a mistake pitch potentially there from Avery Sap to establish that inside part of the plate early in the count, and kind of thought she was going to go outside again. This one, it felt like she was trying to go inside again, and instead kind of left it over the meat of the plate, and Gibbs just absolutely turns on it and gets a little assist from the wind as well, and man, just like that, Bear River takes control of this ball game.
Tell you what, right-hand hitters are just feasting on this wind right now because it really has carried a lot of these hits. You look at it, it had a lot of power on it, but it definitely had some help there with the wind kind of carrying it over the fence, but Bear River will take it. What an absolute clutch hit with 2 outs by Gibbs just when it looked like Sapp was dominating at the peak. Gibbs gets the shot and puts Bear River up, so we'll go to the middle part of the inning. Don't count out Spanish Fork just yet, however. They have a chance to tie and potentially retake the lead here in the bottom half of the 6th. That'll give us some time here to take our breaths and take a quick break here to thank our sponsors once again, as always. Andrew, take it away.
Oh, of course, yeah. We've got the Driggs Mortgage Team, Mikkel Thompson and Hunter, Attorneys at Law, 2 Jacks Pizza, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, MVP Sports, Lance Wilson State Farm, and the Blue Diamond Auto Group.
Boy, it's been an absolute delight to watch this one between these 2 squads. It's just been so impressive. I mean, just when it looked like Spanish Fork was about to take control, Bear River comes back with a amazing attack here on offense. Big time hit again by Gibbs. However, again, like we mentioned, Spanish Fork, such a prolific offense, and they've been able to get their own. They've had a couple of home runs on this one, and also been able to get a few singles as well. Good contact off of Dally. It's feast or famine, as we mentioned with them, however, today. A lot of strikeouts, but at the same time, when they've been able to get contact, they've been able to score and get big shots.
Yeah, they've had again the 2 blasts by Pintar and by Losi, and Losi with some solid contact again in the 4th inning as well with that RBI single that brought in Pintar, and then it's been more of the small ball game for them since then, just trying to manufacture runs here against Dally. And man, just feels like such a big turning point there with that 2-run home run by Gibbs. This is the first time in this ballgame the Spanish Fork has been trailing, and so it's going to be up to Losi, Hall, and Sapp to get things rolling here in the 6th inning, try to retake this lead. And I mean, it's been everything you could want in a ballgame. It's been back and forth and back and forth, and finally for Bear River, it's now fully swung kind of towards their way with the momentum, and now it's going to be up to the Dons to retake the momentum back here in the 6th.
Well, it's the right person to do it. Losi had a home run earlier. That one drops in for a strike. What a great pitch there by Dally. Count now 1-1.
Yeah, Losi with a laser that just snuck its way over that left field fence. Again, I feel like it only was like 5-6 feet in the air total in terms of its actual like height. The entire time it was going, it was just hit that hard, and then the wind able to just give it enough of a oomph to find its way over.
Here's a pitch. Losi tries to lay off of it. Another perfectly placed pitch on the outside corner. That's been where Dolly's been eating all day, pretty much on that outside part of the plate.
Absolutely, that has been the bread and the butter for Dolly in this one.
Does miss again outside though, and here we are, full count. This is one of Losi's strengths here. She's been able to lay off some of these pitches, and it paid off earlier. We'll see if she can do it again here. Payoff pitch. And she does just that. Good eye there. Losi gets on, and that's enough. Tying run on first, and that'll bring up Peyton Hall.
Yeah, that one just getting away from Dally, ends up going a little high and a little outside there. Just trying to stay away a little bit from Losi, who has been one of the Dons that has had solid contact. Was 2 for 2 coming into that at bat, and so you could tell that she was kind of playing a little carefully there with Losi, and so threw up a pitch that was close, trying to see if Losi would chase, and instead nice discipline there, and gets herself on first base. Tying run over there on first.
Yeah, and if you might have saw that, as that one gets rocketed over to the fence here, this could be a run opportunity. Buchanan, the pinch runner, just goes around third, and she's going to hold up there wisely. And that's a big time double there. Big hit by Peyton Hall. just about to mention that they put in Buchanan in place of Losi to pinch run. And it looks like it might pay off here. So again, we mentioned it, don't write off Spanish Fork just yet, and they have the opportunity here, runners on second and third, to retake this lead.
Yeah, what a shot there by Hall. Lasers it over the glove of the second baseman, finds that gap out here in right center, extra bases. Peyton Hall, a dangerous hitter for the Dons. I mean, you got another player that's got tons of extra base hits hitting in that sixth spot, and comes in another huge situation here in the sixth inning. And then Avery Sapp now with an opportunity to get herself the lead over at the plate.
This one hit hard over to left field, and that one just clears the fence, and it's a big-time home run, 3-run shot by Avery Sapp, I should say. And just like that, another big hit, and the Dons take the lead right back.
My gosh, are you kidding me? What a ball game.
What a
freaking ball game. That one definitely had the assistance of the wind. I mean, I thought it was going towards the fence, and that was going to be extra bases. Instead, Avery Sapp able to sneak that one over the fence. That is her, I want to say that's her 4th home run of the season. And doing everything to help her cause on the mound. Again, has been pitching pretty well in this ball game, and now giving herself the lead once again, a 3-run bomb. Man, what a fun ball game. Again, it's always a blast between the Bears and the Dons, and it's always close, and this one has not disappointed in the slightest.
Not in the slightest. What a shot by Sapp, doing it on both ends. What a hit. You saw over there in left field, Nelson trying her best to save that one, goes over the fence even, but to no avail here. So the Dons take the lead 7-5 here, just one out again. It's been an exciting ball game back and forth. Dally pitches this one, and that'll roll foul to the left side. This is where Spanish Fork's depth really is key, and is their forte. It really shines in these type of ball games when you can have 1 through 9 potentially change the game like that. I mean, your pitcher just hits the biggest shot of the game. You see Leonard strike out there.
Yeah, you got a number 7 hitter in Avery Sapp that can just get you a 3-run bomb. You know, that's pretty special. You have Aubrey Leonard, who was just up. She hits dingers. You got Oakley Beckstrom coming up here in the number 9 hole, batting .320. You know, there's just no breaks in this Dons lineup. Again, you're seeing 2 of the best pitchers in all of the state here today, in Dally and in Sapp. And yet, we're looking at a 7-5 ball game, and you wouldn't think that it's 7-5 because of how good the pitching has been, but it's just, these offenses are just that good.
Exactly, they've just been amazing and getting contact all sorts of ways. Spanish Fork with the home run, especially today, they're 3rd on the ball game alone, and it's just amazing. Pitch from Dally goes low and away. Count now 3-1 here.
Yeah, nice approach here by Oakley Beckstrom. Hoping to continue things here in the 6th.
Fouls that one away, and it's going to be a full count here. I think the sad thing is you wish that we could see this more. That we could see it, you know, in 5A, both of them. Bear River certainly is just extremely talented, and of course, as we mentioned at the top, this is the main rivalry. Is Beckstrom gets a walk here.
Yeah, these are the 2 teams that have been duking it out for state championships for years now, and so it's such a shame to not have them be in the same class, and to not be able to play them coming up here in the playoffs is kind of a bummer. I actually wouldn't be shocked if these are the 2 teams that come away with the state championship in their respective classes. Again, for Bear River, that's 4A. For our Spanish Fork Lady Dons here. That's Class 5A. Obviously, got to go through some tough opponents. Bear River's got to be able to take down Tooele, who took down Spanish Fork yesterday. Again, Atlin Johnston is an absolute, just so good on the mound for Tooele. They will have to go through them, and then for the Dons, I mean, Springville, for that matter, in our region, is a team that could pose a threat in the playoffs. And so it's not going to be a cakewalk for either team, but certainly watching them today, this is the cream of the crop for both 5A and for 4A. These two teams are so impressive. I've not gotten to see Riverton personally. They're sitting at #1 in RPI in the state, but it's a team that Spanish Fork beat in Game 1. And yet they're sitting at #1 in RPI, and so that tells me that this is a legit Don squad. They have a shot at winning the championship this year, and then actually getting a close-up look here at this Bear River team. They've got a shot just as much as Spanish Fork does.
Indeed, it's been an excellent game from these two squads. You see another big hit here. Trinity Benson gets a single, her second on the game, and Dons might not be done yet. Boy, it would be big for them, just given the theme of this game, the back and forth nature. If they can build themselves up a little cushion here, that would be huge.
Oh, it would be huge. 2 runs is not safe, but man, I don't want to jinx it here, but if Jamie Davis could put a charge into this one and make this a 5-run ball game, that completely changes the complexion. Completely changes the complexion of this ball game that's been just so nip and tuck all the way through. And Davis certainly has the power to do it. Again, came into this leading the Dons in home runs. So if she can find one that she likes here against Dolly and put it over the fence, man, that would be huge here.
Now I feel for Dolly having to go up against this lineup every inning. It's the challenge for every pitcher, not just her, but man, it's been tough. And that one is ripped over to left field, and it's going to bounce over for a ground rule double, and that's going to bring in a run. And the Dons extend their lead. A big hit, as you mentioned, kind of predicted, actually.
Well, I'm not going to say predicted. I wanted home run. It did go over the fence, but it had to hop over the fence. So maybe like I half called it, kind of. It still was an extra base hit, still a big one, still extends the lead here to 8-5, and I think that's probably going to be the ball game here for Dally.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either if it is. They're going to convene, though. We'll see what they do, and sure enough, I think that's going to be it. Manager for Bear River coming out to give her the sign. It'll be the end of a great outing for her. The runs and the score may not indicate it, but she was excellent in this one against Sap, and really an exciting matchup for both of these pitchers. And on the day, just counting up the strikeouts here, I have, let's see here. I want to say 11 strikeouts. I
got 11 as well. Yes.
I just wanted to.
Got to get the verification.
I didn't want to be wrong, so I got to work on my counting skills. But hey, I'd say 11's impressive. I'd say 10's impressive. I mean, just absolutely dominating for the most part. But again, when you have a team that's hitting like Spanish Fork's hitting, it's kind of hard to stop. But Dolly certainly did her best. They've hung into this one. It's a critical point for them right now. Down 3 here, and it'll be a replacement here for the Bears, and into pitch will be number 2, Bailey Sorensen. Sorensen will try and kind of stop the damage here. It's a critical point, though. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for the Dons. Dons hope to put this one away with Brooklyn Pintar, their main hitter, up to bat.
Yeah, talk about a real rough situation coming in here for Sorensen. I mean, you got runners on 2nd and 3rd, and one of the best hitters in all of Utah at the plate in Pintar, who's already had a solid ball game with a solo shot in the 1st and was able to score in the 4th, and then had a sac fly in the 5th. Like, she's been producing runs all day here for Spanish Fork, and now in a huge situation here with 2 more runners in scoring position.
Pintar again on the year 393. Here comes the pitch. She's going to try and lay down a bunt, and that one goes foul.
Yeah, interesting strategy there. I would think that they would have her swinging freely here, but I think she may have saw something in the defense and tried to lay down a quick bunt, hoping to scratch a run across, but kind of popped it up. Thankfully, no one around to be able to catch that one.
That one outside for Buchanan, or for Sorensen, I should say, and the count now 2-2. Here's the pitch. That one fouled away. Good contact there.
Yeah, you can clearly tell that Pintar is trying to take it the other way. I mean, obviously with runners on second and third, your best option is to try to slap something in between first and second. I mean, ideally you want to drive something into the gap here out in right center, and that'll easily score you 2 more runs. And as that was a nice patient approach there, moving the count to full. You can just tell that she's just a smart hitter trying to find a pitch that she can drive and potentially take the other way.
Full count here, and swing and a miss. A big time strikeout from Sorensen for out number 2.
Yeah, that's a huge one. You get Pintar down on strikes, who's, I mean, she's 1 for 1 on the day. That one is a home run, and then a walk and a sacrifice fly. She's been the engine to this Dawn's offense so far, and then to get her down on strikes in this big of a situation, that's huge for Sorensen.
And follows it up with a big strike to Kylie Mitchell. Mitchell is in need of a hit. 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts here. She's definitely due.
She is due, and no slouch at the plate.
Another pitch there, just a bit outside. Count now 1-1.
Yep, just missing the black on that pitch. She's kind of had a similar approach so far that Dally did, just really trying to work that outside part of the plate as much as possible.
I don't blame her either. I think it's been pretty successful when she's been able to get it, but of course you just miss by a little bit and you put it right over the plate, and it's money for this Dawn's lineup. 2-1 count, and that one low as well. It'll be 3-1 now. Good patient approach here by Mitchell. After Mitchell, if she does get on, it'll be Losi. And then after that, Hall. Swing and a miss there. That was a beautiful pitch there by Sorensen.
Yeah, Mitchell wants that swing back. It was a nice pitch, but it's one that if Mitchell just stays back a little bit on, she's able to put that one into play pretty easily.
And a rise ball there by Sorensen puts her away. Excellent 2 pitches there. 2 strikeouts for Sorensen in relief. Bear River down by 3. Definitely a tough challenge, but not out of it. We'll come back with the top of the 7th, and we'll close this one out on Spanish Fork 17. Back here on Spanish Fork 17. Big time inning from the Dawn. Score 8-5. Back the big time shot of their own. Avery Sapp coming in clutch with the 3-run home run, and she's going to look to try and close this one out. She's been phenomenal on this ball game. She's going to have to go through the top of the lineup for Bear River, starting with Kinley Nelson. He's had 2 hits on the ball game. She hits this one hard. It's going to drift, however, foul and out of play. 1-1 count.
Yeah, Nelson scoring 2 of the that, and then was the beneficiary of a couple errors there in the third. But again, this is the part of the lineup that Bear River definitely wants up in this kind of do or die situation here in the 7th inning. You need to get your top of the order up. Hopefully these are your hitters that can get on base and cut into this Dons lead.
Benson there. So a big hit by Nelson now, and that puts Olivia Taylor up.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see if you're Bear River, is just good solid contact, and that's exactly what happens there with Nelson. Just sends it straight up center field, able to drop in and gets her.
Is Pintar and 1 down for the Dons.
Yeah, a little pop up there to Pintar for out number 1. Sapp still dealing here and able to jam Taylor up there on that pitch.
Sorry about the loss in connection here. Again, score is 8-5 here. Bear River runner on first, 1 down here in the top of the 7th inning. Just to keep you caught up, a big time home run by Avery Sapp to take the lead back for the Dons here. And a huge 6th inning for them. They'll try and close it out here. It's McCall Maxfield at the plate, and she swings and misses again, strike 2.
Yeah, what a great changeup there by Sapp, able to pull the string just enough and able to get Maxfield to swing through that one. Again, she's only 1 for 3 in this ball game, and it's been a struggle here lately for Bear River. This middle part of the lineup has not seen Avery Sapp very well.
No, they haven't, and now it's going to come down to Oakley Maxfield, who has had her share of struggles as well. 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts. But she is, again, 4th hitter in this lineup, and she's pretty successful herself for the squad.
You definitely say that she could be due here for a big hit for Bear River. I mean, this is that moment where, as the cleanup hitter, you got to come through in the clutch for your team. And yeah, you know what? You're 0 for 3 on the ball game. You haven't seen the ball out of Sapp's hand very well. You've gone down on several rise balls. You just got to battle at this point. Again, you're 2 outs here, top of the 7th. Big rivalry matchup. It's about being patient and finding a pitch that you can drive.
I believe there might be a hitting change here. That might be number 28 in. If I have that right, if my vision's good.
Believe so, yes. So pinch hitting for.
And that would be Haley Farnsworth.
Oakley Maxfield makes sense with the struggles that she's had at the plate.
She does get contact here, but that one goes foul. So count now is going to be 2-1. 2 outs here. Bear River desperately needs a hit here to stay in this one. That one fouled away, and it's now 2-2, and so the Bears down to their last strike.
Yeah, Sapp super close to finishing this ball game off, getting the complete game, and also being kind of the the key hit in this ball game with that 3-run home run in the past inning and can close this thing off with just one more solid pitch. That one is fouled away.
And a good fight here from Farnsworth. Bear River has certainly put up a fight today. They've taken the lead on multiple occasions. Spanish Fork with some clutch hitting. As that one is in the dirt, sliding in to second, and running over to third is going to be Nelson, and she's going to get in standing. Should be of little consequence to the Dons right now. Their priority just is to get this third out here.
Yeah, at this point your focus is just on the batter. You've got the 3-run cushion at this point. Unless Farnsworth is able to do something here and make it dangerous, you really just need to make sure you can get her out at this point.
Payoff pitch here. That one fouled over the backstop and out of play, and another great effort to stay alive here. And looks like we're going to have a little conversation at the mound between these two.
Yeah, it makes sense to talk things over with Sapp, just kind of get on the same page in terms of what you want to do here with this pitch. Again, the focus is on Farnsworth at this point. You're not even worried about Nelson over there at third base. It's just, okay, what's going to be the right pitch in this situation? Are we going rise ball? Are we going changeup? Like, it's just want to make sure we're on the same page.
This one weakly grounded over to third, thrown over to first, and that'll be it. Big time third out, and that'll be the ball game. Spanish Fork will take this one 8-5 over the Bear River Bears. What a ball game between these two clubs, and an absolutely clutch hit by Avery Sapp to take this one for the Dons. Great win for them. Again, only one loss on the year. They go to 20-1. Excellent game. Bear River falls to 13-4. We'll be back with some recap, and we'll wrap this one up here on Spanish Fork 17. Back here on Spanish Fork 17. This one's a final. Spanish Fork winning this one 8-5 over Bear River. Excellent ball game between these two clubs, and it lived up to the hype, I think.
Oh, yeah. Did it live up to the hype ever? This was just a complete ball game. You saw great pitching performances from Avery Sapp and from Kate Dolly. Again, the score kind of doesn't do justice to how good these pitchers were. Both of them were just sensational. It's just these offenses are just that good. I mean, you had 3 home runs for Spanish Fork, a dinger as well for Bear River, and you got some just runs getting manufactured off of just some easy, nice singles. And I mean, but the strikeout totals were nuts. I mean, both pitchers were in double digits in this ball game in terms of strikeouts, and so the quality of pitching was not a disappointment, even though you're looking at the score and you're like, wait a second, 8-5, but we're talking about pitching here. But no, the pitching was sensational, along with the offense. Again, 3 home runs for Spanish Fork, solo shot by Brooklyn Pintar, solo shot by Ashlyn Losey, and then that 3-run blast in the 6th inning by Avery Sapp that really put this ball game away for Spanish Fork. And so, I mean, just everything you could want. You also had some great plays out in the defense. You had a left fielder literally flipping over the fence to make a play. I mean, it was just a fun ball game to be a part of. Bear River always makes it a blast, always makes it fun against Spanish Fork. Again, it's kind of a pity that we don't get to see them in the playoffs like we usually do, but best of luck to them in the 4A playoffs. Again, they'll have some stiff competition, but after watching them today, I think they've got a great shot at taking the championship. And again, for the Dons, man, it's just been such a special season. You know, you lose yesterday to Tooele against a star ace in Atlin Johnston, but then you come right back and take down the top team in 4A in Bear River and get yourself set up for the rest of your region play, and really get yourself set up nicely for state playoffs coming up.
Exactly, and I mean, like you said, with Bear River, by the way, team that beat Tooele, team that beat Spanish Fork. I mean, these are 3 of the top clubs, I would say, in the state of Utah, and a great test, I think, for Spanish Fork and and getting them primed, like you said, it's a huge win for them, especially with all the battling back that Bear River did, and even taking the lead in the top of the sixth. It was really kind of crushing for a second there to see that shot go over the fence, and kind of a shocker for all of us here. We kind of were expecting, Spanish Fork to kind of close this one out. Nonetheless, great effort from them. They bounced back with a huge shot, and leads us to our MVP Sports Player of the game. I think the person on the mound has to be the one that we give the credit to. I mean, a great all-around effort by Spanish Fork, but Sapp on this one has to be the one for the player of the game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she pitched a complete ball game, ended up with 11 strikeouts in this ball game. Again, the run total was a little high for her. Again, came into this ball game with a .92 ERA, so she will see that go up a bit here as she ended up allowing 4 earned runs in this ball game. But man, her pitching was so impressive, though. I mean, she was mixing everything. She had a fantastic rise ball. Her changeup was working. She had a nasty curveball, was working inside, outside, high, low, everything was really working. But it's just this Bear River offense did just enough to keep themselves in this ball game. But what really kind of puts it over the top for me for Avery Sapp is that not only did she have the impressive performance on the mound, she got the game-winning hit. I mean, she comes up in that huge moment in the 6th inning, comes away with a 3-run home run as well. So, I mean, solid day at the plate there, 1 for 3 with that 3-run home runs. But it's the fact that she came up, was kind of starting to be a little shaky on the mound there, and then comes up at the plate, delivers a huge hit to help her cause, and then comes in, closes it down, gets the complete game. And so, I mean, yeah, there was no other choice here for MVP Sports MVP of the game. She goes the distance on the mound and then also comes up with the clutch hit that ends up sealing the win for the Dons. So, yeah, your MVP Sports MVP of the game, Avery Sapp.
I mean, doing it on both ends of the plate can't be any better than that. What a great matchup between these two clubs. We hope to see it again. It's a great rivalry, and did not disappoint at all. So, again, we thank you for joining us here. As always, a beautiful day here for softball, I should say, and Spanish Fork coming away with the win. Final score 8-5. For Andrew LaRosa, I'm Jake Arscott. We're signing off here again. Thanks as always, and stay tuned for more softball for the rest of the season here on Spanish Fork 17.